I'm going to talk today about how to use content for growth. It's a little like content marketing, but more than content marketing. I'm going to talk about how to use it for various parts of your funnel and using that same content that you create all around to essentially increase and widen your funnel and increase customer advocacy and referrals. So, like I said, I'm Sujan Patel. I'm the co-founder of Web Profits. It's a marketing agency, and I have 6 SaaS businesses, and I got tired of naming them all, so I just said it's Sujitsu Ventures. But yeah, essentially we have tools for SaaS tools for marketing and sales professionals. Very simple to use and whatnot, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about what I tested out in 2016, and I've done this years and years before, but this year I created a lot of content, 300 pieces of content, actually more, I can't really count it, but according to BuzzSumo, I created 300 pieces of content. And there's a little plus sign, so I was like, that's good. But most of it was actually external. I also created over 10 30K word epic articles. These are very in-depth articles on lots of different topics, and I'll show you a couple examples. 50 plus videos, 1 ebook, and 30 podcasts. I'm not trying to brag, I'm just telling you what input went into this, at some point I'll load, output. So that effort I put into this year generated 8.5 million page views. Most of it wasn't on my site, so I didn't get all that traffic, but I don't care. That was great exposure and awareness. More people know my name. Hopefully they like me, hopefully I've educated them. I've got almost 2,600 plus backlinks, 377 leads to my consulting business. I didn't do any, by the way, this is the only marketing I did. A bit of retargeting, but that's it. I didn't do any paid, I didn't do anything else. Dennis did a great job talking about the amplification, the content, the useful content, and we're gonna talk about that, but this is what I did. I just created really good content that was helpful, and I got a lot of results out of it. Almost 8,000 trials to my SaaS businesses combined. Again, they're all themed at marketing and sales, so it's not like I get one trial. Somebody might try 2 or 3 different products at the same time. Ended up getting 30 plus speaking gigs and 1 potential book deal. It's potential, I'm still in negotiations, but I put this on there because in 2014, 2015, I went out there and I wrote an ebook called 100 Days of Growth, and it's 100 different growth hacking tactics. But I went out there and pitched all these publishers. I hired a professional, whatever these guys do, that like actually go out on your behalf and pitch publishers for you. I got rejected 100% of the time. I put my tail between the legs, wrote the book, published it myself, sold 40,000 copies. And then because I was creating a lot of content, one of the largest publishers hit me up and said, hey, I've been watching you. I'm like, oh, that's weird. But I guess I did a good job, right? So I tried all these things, and the same thing happened with speaking engagements. Apparently, I'm no Neil Patel, right? All right, so come on, guys, you can laugh. Let's laugh. I actually, before I came here, one of my friends who's the author of I Can Talk Funny, or I Can Teach You to Talk Funny, David Nihil, of Funny Business, he's like, he's coaching me in how to be funny on stage, and he's like, I told him, I bet I can make everybody laugh. So he's watching right now somewhere, so can you guys just laugh? Laugh. Like I said something really, laugh at the guy who had the chest asking for a girlfriend, right? That was funny. All right, cool, no laughs today, but a couple people. All right, so here's my content marketing team. I have a content strategist. Pretty much, that's me. But if you don't have a me, or you're not writing, you can get somebody for around 60, 70K a year. We have a researcher and editor. This person, after the content is written, they add in details, they add in influencer quotes, they add in data, facts, they help make that story more powerful. The copy and paster, right? This is literally a very low level admin, and all they do is copy and paste. And I talked to my friend Benji earlier today, and apparently he has an awesome tool called Wordable.io, which replaces this person, because it does something from a Google Docs and it puts it into WordPress. But that's exactly what this person does all day long, because copying and pasting 300 plus articles is a lot of work. Then I have the content promoter. This guy's kind of like a pirate. He has 2 legs, but he's a pirate nonetheless. He does a lot of outreach. He promotes all the content. We have an outsourced design and development team that we work with. When we spend $40,000 a year literally creating content. So the reason I don't do any other marketing is because this crap costs a lot. I have to spend a lot of money on this. And then we spend about 20K on advertising, mostly Facebook ads, a little bit of Instagram. Surprisingly, Instagram mobile works well. Bit of Twitter, AdRoll, and LinkedIn. We do a bit of retargeting. And LinkedIn, it's hit or miss depending on the topic that we hit. But that's what we do. So let's move on to a funnel, right? Everybody knows a funnel, right? This is like business and marketing and acquisition 101, right? There's the top of the funnel. People know about you. Maybe they searched you. Maybe they heard about you at a conference. There's the middle of the funnel. Maybe they signed up. They're thinking about signing up. They opted in, something, right? They've like committed to something. Bottom is they're considering buying from you. They bought from you. Great. Now you get a customer. You get a $. And if you're lucky, you've done some good, let's say, marketing. People don't hate you because you've emailed them to death. They like your product. They potentially can become advocates. But it's hard to get your customers to become advocates. Let's talk about a funnel with content marketing in play. Look, it's wider. Look how much wider it is. There's lines that go down to this gold $. That gold $. Must be better than a regular $. Clearly, like guys, come on, look at this. Gold $, right? So more advocates. So when I apply content marketing to my whole funnel, things get wider. My top of the funnel, remember I said those 8.5 million visitors that didn't even come to my site? They had exposure to me. Maybe I didn't get the awareness that a normal funnel has, but I had exposure. And in the middle of the funnel, I got wider because I had those 12 touch points or whatever number of touch points, statistically speaking, it takes to convert somebody. I had them before they hit my site, just with content. And because they trusted me, there's 2 lines to get into a funnel, into that golden $. And I used my content to my customers and marketing to my customers to turn them into advocates. So more of them become advocates and then fill that top of the funnel again. So that's kind of how I think about content marketing. So I beg you, please stop creating mediocre content and start creating epic content. And the internet will thank you for this because, frankly, there's just too much noise out there. Why? Because everyone's buying in that content marketing is great. So good, I'm glad you're gonna create more content, but create the best, most unique content. And as Dennis mentioned earlier, that's a vague statement, but that's okay. You can figure this out, and I'm gonna walk you through how to figure it out. So that's a dragon I slayed, by the way. So epic content, the reason why I like epic content is because it helps you build a loyal audience. It helps you build a cult-like following. And sometimes, if you're lucky enough, it'll help you move mountains and hopefully slay dragons, meaning it'll help you at the bottom of the funnel. It'll help you get open doors that you may not get into, aka moving mountains and slaying these big deals. So I'm going to talk today about 11 tactics and go a little fast. The first thing, again, I'm echoing what I just said 30 seconds ago, epic content. These are 2 examples. On the left-hand side is a playbook, an ebook I made. It's this HTML guide, and it's all on email outreach. It's what our software Milkshake does. On the right-hand side is a company called wheniwork.com. They created this really in-depth article where these little colorful buttons, they kind of JavaScript scroll down to some other section, and there's hundreds of different team-building games you can play. I don't think you can see it in this screenshot because there's a lot of traffic that thing drove. So that screenshot I showed you before, that thing drove 1.5 million visitors in under 2 years. And it's not that we continue to promote it and we continue to do a lot of stuff. No, we created really good content. We did the right things. Again, we promoted the heck out of it. So if you're creating content, first rule of thumb before even going through any of this stuff is make sure you have a budget and resources to promote content. So let's assume you do. If you create epic content, you apply that process to epic content, you can expect really big results. Now, I don't know about you, but if I created whatever amount of regular articles, I wouldn't be able to justify the cost to get 1.5 million visitors. And this thing generates over 100,000 monthly unique visitors from Google directly. So it's the evergreen play. We expect to do that with the same thing with the email outreach template. It's great content. We use it to promote it and all that stuff. So it helps you move those mountains. Next thing I want to talk about is content circles. So content circles is that like, hey, what is useful to your customers? Think about your customer, your audience. Who are you targeting? Who are you writing content for? And think about what the other problems they have in their life, in their career. Do they not get enough sleep? Are they having trouble managing their employees, their staff? Are they having trouble hiring people? What else is their problems? What else are they looking for? That's what I call a content circle. Now, when you cross-reference what your potential, this is a hypothesis of what you think your customers or audience's problems are, cross-reference that with some basic keyword research. Just go to SEMrush, Google Keyword Planner, whatever, and just plug that in, the most basic version of that problem, and compare against all the customers' problems and the volume, and bam, organize it based off the volume, and you're essentially creating problems that your customers have that you know other potential people have that might be your qualified customers. So, or you're qualifying that traffic. So that's what content circles is. Now, when you apply content circles and epic content together, what ends up happening is this magic. So here's 3 examples. On the left and right-hand side, these are examples from my company, my blog, and my company blog, Web Profits. We created content around customer delight and customer advocacy. Just in case anyone's wondering, we don't do any of that stuff. We're not a service provider for anything customer referral. We don't have a software. There's no way we make money on this. Way we actually stand out is because there's so much information out there on growth hacking, content marketing. I can't rank number 1 for content marketing, or if I could, it would take a crap load of money, and an epic article, by the time it was released, something better would have come out. So it's too competitive for me. So I refuse to play in that game. So I'm doing content circles, because I know people who, once they get a customer, there's people like the marketers that hopefully you guys, once you get a customer, you're going to try to keep them. You're going to try to get them to get you more customers. So other members of the team, this is other conversations my customers that I know are having within their internal organization. Now, the middle screenshot is a personal branding playbook or ultimate guide. You've probably heard ultimate guide like 1 billion times this year, and hopefully you hear it 1 billion more next year. But it's a guide we created for a hosting company. Hosting is right here. Like, what the hell does hosting and personal branding have to do? Well, the article talks about, it's actually my story. I talk about how I built my personal brand using blogging and a nice like website with a big header with the opt-in. So I built my brand using blogging and a website. Well, any blog and any website needs hosting, right? So that's how it ties in. And when you are super motivated, when a reader is super motivated, when they're reading this personal branding guide, they can instantly sign up to get a hosting account. It works. And if you're thinking, that's a pretty niche thing, or maybe that's really broad, Neil Patel ranks number 1 for personal branding, and he gets 60,000 monthly visitors on that one article. So if this hosting company got 60,000 monthly visitors, that's going to make their quota. Like, that one article would be a whole channel. It would be equivalent to their affiliate program, their email list, and some. So that's the power of this epic content, if you can get it to work. Another tactic I use is take your best content, that epic content, you're going to hear me say epic like 100 more times, to nurture and onboard your customers, right? So once they've turned into a trial, send them that article, because sometimes they miss it. If you're great at conversions, you're doing paid, or you're doing other forms of acquisition, they're going to probably miss it, but don't let them miss it. Send it to them. They're going to love it. They're going to share it. It's going to help them, educate them. It's going to make them smarter. They're going to be better customers and better at their jobs for it if you've done the right thing. Another thing you can do, again, I told you about hypothesizing what your customers' problems are. Now let's ask your customers. Simply survey your customers or your audience, right? Your email list. If you don't have any customers or you don't have enough, send it to everybody. Again, figure out what their top problems are and create an ebook around it, right? Literally, like I said, go do keyword research and then create an ebook around it. It works well because it's your freaking customers' problems. If you solve your customers' problems with content, They automatically think your product, your brand is going to solve their problems with whatever the hell you're doing, right? And so we did this so many times, and it worked every single time because it made our customers smarter. So I like to make my customers smarter. This is all about that middle, bottom of the funnel. Trust and everything like that. It's going to improve. It's going to widen. You're going to get that golden dollar sign. That's not it. Take your best content. So many people are focused on, I need more content. I need to write 2 a week, whatever, right? 5 a month, 10 a month. I remember I have a few clients that have quoted a HubSpot article. I don't know anyone here from HubSpot, but apparently HubSpot a few years ago published an article saying you need to publish 16 articles a month. Like, what the hell? 16 articles? How could you do anything with that? So I suggest you create a few. 1, 2, 3. Create one, and once you got the promotion down, create more afterwards, and scale once you've got the quality down. But anyways, go look at your last 6 months, your last 3 months, your last year of your top traffic. Take the best content and repurpose it into a webinar, video, a whole microsite, an ebook. This works especially well because you already know, you've validated that it works. Now, videos and webinars, people learn differently. People will sit through a 45-minute webinar. They will sit through a 30-minute or 25-minute, what's probably going to be 30 minutes, just FYI, guys, talk here. But they may not read your 5-minute article because they're busy, they're doing something else, and frankly, it's the internet. But so take your content and get that, reuse it, maximize that value. Ebooks work really, really well. In fact, I did this opposite thing. I took my ebook, about 100 Days of Growth ebook, and I turned it into blog posts. But that's for a different time. So here's a quick example. There's a client here, or a company here called RewardStream. They're a referral marketing software. I actually created this video on referral marketing, and that video came from a piece of content. And so now we're doing a webinar on it. This is a bottom of the funnel thing for them. This is just an awareness thing for me, but it's such a powerful thing. Repurpose your best content into a book. Yes, like physical, offline book. Here's an example. At When I Work, we sent it off to every single customer who signed up, and we sent a little thank you card in there. Before, when we just sent the thank you card, 17% of them shared the thank you card on Facebook. After we sent the book, people were literally like, can I get your autograph, CEO, who it was ghostwritten for. But it was a blog post that would have started for. And Chad's cool. He's like, I get it. This works. But people were sharing this. About 25% of people were sharing it. Epic content plus cold emails. So that Mailshake, that like email outreach article I created, I've been using it for outbound emails, and it's worked well because I'm not selling somebody on something. I'm just saying, hey guy, you're a sales guy. I think you'll find this valuable, and take it one step further and saying, I think you'll find step number 5 valuable, tactic number 3 valuable. So be specific in that, but it works. All right, here's another one. I'm going quite fast because I have 2 minutes. Guest post plus SEO. So here's the thing. Make a list of the top 50 sites in your industry based on Twitter followers, domain authority, and backlinks. Then use SEMrush to cross-reference that to see what keywords they rank for. So look at what keywords they rank for, and then pitch them to write a guest post on something that's similar to that keyword and potentially related to your topic. Because you have the best chance of ranking for that because they already have a foothold on that. So it's like you're reducing the time it takes to rank, and you're not owning the content. It's on someone else's site, but it's still your brand. It still works. It's great for exposure, and you get secondary SEO traffic. Next is teach your sales and customer support team to actually use your content from the blog in their support emails, in their lead emails. I'm not saying like put it as a little signature in your email. I'm saying get the sales guy, get the customer support guy at the end of the, let's say after a phone call for a salesperson, or at the end of a support ticket, get them to send something valuable, but help them make that. As the marketer, essentially give your support team 10 articles that they could send and tell them and categorize it and kind of coach them through it. It works incredibly well because your customers need love too. Don't stop talking to your customers after they become customers, or else you're never going to get that golden dollar sign. And the last thing I want to leave you with is time. There is no quick way to do content marketing. If you're leveraging content for growth, it's going to take a while. 12, 18, 24 months. Those are the magic Timelines, when things start popping. 12 months is when you actually start getting some ROI from it, some. 18 is when you usually hit break-even point. 24 is when doors start opening for you, meaning book deals, just random stuff just comes inbound in your inbox, including more leads and whatnot. So content is really growth's best friend. All right, guys, thank you, and follow us on Snapchat. Questions?
Maybe one question?
All right, we have
time for just one question.
Just quickly, you talked about you have a content promoter. How do you promote your content?
Yeah, so great question. There's a lot of different things I do. One, this is applying to B2B. My audience is marketers or kind of entrepreneurs. So first and foremost, I always mention influencers. 3 to 5 people. It helps me prove my point better because they're quoting something. I'm quoting something they already said. When I share it on social media, I tag them. I also email them. After a while of doing this, they get annoyed at my emails or we become best friends, one of the two. And I don't have to do anything anymore with those guys. So I've built a lot of relationships from that. So number 2 is actually build relationships. Any industry I go to for clients or whatnot, I find the top influencers and the top sites. I make sure I become BFFs with the top people, and I hit up all the top sites to do partnerships or whatever. I built an email list. That's a big thing. If you don't have an email list, you gotta build one. I also wrote an article on 100 different ways to promote content. Check it out, just Google 100 ways to promote content. CoSchedule has one too. Both those combined, there's 200 plus ways. So hopefully that should give you a couple more tips.
Thank you so much, Sujan. A big
Awesome.
round of applause for Sujan. Great job.